Have you ever wondered why, no matter how successful, good-looking, or charismatic you are, it sometimes feels like you're still not fully connecting with the woman you care about? It's not about money. It's not about looks. It's not even about grand romantic gestures. What women crave most is emotional connection. Today, we're diving deep into why emotional intimacy is not just a nice extra, it's the very foundation of a strong, lasting relationship. And by the end of this video, you'll understand something that could change the way you see women and love forever. You see, emotional connection is not some bonus or optional part of love for women. It's a biological, psychological, and emotional need that runs deep. Without it, even the most luxurious gifts or passionate moments will feel empty. Women seek emotional connection because it offers something they value above all else: safety, trust, and belonging. When a woman feels emotionally connected to you, she feels seen, valued, and understood. And when she doesn't, it's like walking on a frozen lake with cracks forming under each step, unstable, fearful, and lonely. Here's the truth. If you don't connect with her emotionally, you will never truly have her heart. And it's not because women are too emotional or hard to please. It's because their brains and hearts are wired to seek connection, deep, meaningful, soul-level connection. In today's video, we'll explore why emotional connection is essential from a biological point of view, what emotional intimacy means to women, how you can create powerful emotional bonds that last, and the surprising mistakes many people make without even realizing it. Stay until the end, because what I share could unlock the door to deeper love, loyalty, and understanding than you've ever experienced before. Let's get started. Let's start at the beginning, the biological blueprint that shapes what women need in relationships. For thousands of years, women relied on connection not just for love, but for survival. In ancient times, a woman's safety and the safety of her children often depended on being part of a strong, supportive group. Trust and emotional bonds weren't luxuries. They were essential for protection, resources, and raising the next generation. Even today, those ancient instincts are still alive inside us, hardwired into the human brain. When a woman seeks emotional connection, it's not just because she wants romance, it's because her biology tells her that connection equals safety. From a hormonal perspective, women are more sensitive to bonding chemicals like oxytocin. Oxytocin, sometimes called the love hormone, is released during moments of closeness, trust, and vulnerability. It creates feelings of calm, safety, and attachment. For women, emotional intimacy directly triggers these powerful chemical reactions, creating a sense of deep, internal security. By contrast, men often release testosterone in response to attraction and competition, which fuels excitement but doesn't necessarily build emotional bonds the same way. That's why, in many relationships, women crave more emotional depth, while men might initially focus more on physical or practical aspects. Here's another important point. Emotional connection helps regulate stress. When a woman feels emotionally connected, her body lowers cortisol levels, the hormone responsible for stress and anxiety. This is why being emotionally supported isn't just nice for a woman, it literally improves her health, mood, and well-being. Without emotional connection, however, stress levels rise. She might feel anxious, withdrawn, insecure, or even physically ill over time. A lack of emotional safety can leave her in a constant state of emotional tension, even if everything looks fine on the outside. Let's pause here for a powerful takeaway. Women don't just want emotional connection. They need it mentally, emotionally, and biologically. If you can offer her that deep emotional presence, you're not just winning her heart, you're speaking to her most basic human needs. You become her safe place in a world that often feels chaotic, overwhelming, and uncertain. And that more than any material gift or physical attraction is what makes a woman stay. So, what exactly does emotional connection mean for women? It's not just about talking every day. It's not just about saying, I love you. And it's definitely not about grand, flashy gestures without depth. Emotional connection means feeling truly seen, heard, and understood. It's when a woman can show her full self, her dreams, fears, joys, and doubts, without fear of being judged, dismissed, or ignored. It's the invisible thread that makes her feel, deep down, I am safe here. I am valued here. I am loved for who I am, not just for what I do. Let's break it down even further. Emotional connection is built through 1. Presence. Real presence isn't just physical, it's emotional. It's about putting down your phone, pausing the distractions, and giving her your undivided attention. It's when you listen, not to respond, but to truly understand. When a woman feels like she's competing with your work, your phone, or your indifference, it sends a painful message. I'm not important enough. On the other hand, even just 10 minutes of full, focused presence can make her feel like the most cherished person in the world. 2. Validation. Validation doesn't mean always agreeing with her. It means acknowledging her feelings without minimizing them. If she's upset, she's not looking for you to fix it immediately. She's looking for a moment of connection, a sign that her emotions are valid. Simple phrases like, "That sounds really tough. I can see why you feel that way. I'm here for you." These can bridge emotional gaps faster than any logical argument ever could. 3. Empathy. Empathy means feeling with her, not just for her. It's putting yourself in her emotional shoes. When you show empathy, you signal that her experience matters to you on a deep level. Example: if she's stressed about work, instead of saying, "Just don't worry about it," you might say, "I can imagine how much pressure you must be feeling." That sounds overwhelming. It's small shifts like these that build massive emotional trust over time. 4. Consistency. Emotional connection is not a one-and-done event. It's built and rebuilt through consistent moments of care. Little things done often are far more powerful than big things done occasionally. A simple text to check on her during a tough day. A hug when she seems distant. A listening ear when she just needs to vent. Consistency tells her, you can rely on me. I'm here. I'm steady. I choose you over and over again. Why physical attraction alone isn't enough. Many men assume that if there's chemistry, if the physical side is strong, then everything else will naturally fall into place. But without emotional depth, the relationship often feels shallow or unstable for women. Even the most intense physical attraction will fade without emotional nourishment. Without emotional connection, small misunderstandings grow into major fights. Distance creeps in. Intimacy becomes mechanical, not magical. With emotional connection, trust deepens. Intimacy feels sacred. Love grows stronger, even through hard times. Here's the bottom line. For women, emotional connection isn't just about happiness. It's about survival, trust, identity, and love. When you nurture that connection, you're not just being nice, you're building an unbreakable bond. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present, validating, empathetic, and consistent. Because in the end, it's not the expensive dinners or the fancy vacations she'll remember. It's how you made her feel safe, loved, and truly known. Emotional connection isn't just something women appreciate. It's the foundation that shapes trust and deep love. Without emotional safety, love feels fragile. With emotional safety, love feels unbreakable. Let's break down how emotional connection shapes trust and why it's the heartbeat of any meaningful relationship. 1. Emotional connection builds safety. At the core of trust is safety. When a woman feels emotionally connected to you, she feels safe to open up, safe to be herself, and safe to love fully without fear. Safety doesn't mean that everything is perfect all the time. It means that even in moments of conflict, disappointment, or stress, she knows you are emotionally present, not running away, blaming, or shutting down. Without this emotional safety, women instinctively start protecting themselves. Walls go up. Distance forms. Doubts creep in. When a woman doesn't feel emotionally safe, it doesn't matter how much you provide materially or how often you say, "I love you," she will struggle to fully relax into the relationship. 2. Emotional connection deepens loyalty. A common myth is that women are loyal simply because they are in love. But true loyalty is born from emotional security. When a woman feels seen, valued, and emotionally supported, her bond with you strengthens at the core level. She doesn't just stay because of commitment. She stays because she wants to, because her heart feels home with you. Without emotional connection, loyalty often becomes shaky. Even small disagreements can feel overwhelming. Temptations outside the relationship might seem more appealing when emotional needs are ignored or dismissed. But when emotional intimacy is strong, it creates a loyalty that isn't based on fear or duty, it's based on genuine desire. 3. Emotional connection protects against resentment. When emotional needs are consistently unmet, resentment begins to grow. The woman feels lonely even while in a relationship. She feels misunderstood, unsupported, and invisible. She starts withdrawing emotionally, or worse, she begins to shut down her feelings completely to avoid pain. This silent resentment poisons the relationship over time. The scary thing is, many couples don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. They argue about small things, chores, schedules, money, but beneath it all, the real wound is emotional disconnection. By nurturing emotional connection, you prevent these invisible wounds from ever forming. You create a space where issues are talked about, not buried. Where feelings are shared, not hidden. 4. Emotional connection fuels intimacy. Many people believe intimacy is purely physical. But the truth is, emotional intimacy and physical intimacy are deeply connected, especially for women. When a woman feels emotionally safe and connected, physical closeness becomes a natural, joyful extension of her feelings. Without emotional safety, even the most passionate physical moments can feel hollow or forced. Emotional connection fuels desire, tenderness, passion, and trust. It allows a woman to surrender fully, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. That's the kind of intimacy that makes love last a lifetime. 5. Without emotional connection, love feels like a constant test. When emotional connection is missing, relationships often fall into exhausting cycles. She pulls away, you chase harder, she withdraws more. She asks for deeper conversations, you avoid or dismiss them, she feels even more isolated. She becomes critical or distant, you feel frustrated, fights erupt. It feels like nothing is ever enough. But emotional connection changes everything. It transforms the relationship from a battlefield into a sanctuary. Instead of constant testing, there's mutual trust. Instead of hidden resentments, there's open communication. Love feels easy, not exhausting. Final thought for this section. Emotional connection is the bridge between two hearts. Without it, love stands on shaky ground. With it, love becomes a fortress, strong enough to withstand life's storms, beautiful enough to bring out the best in both people. Building emotional connection isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, being real, and being willing to meet her heart where it is, not where you wish it would be. Because when you connect to her emotionally, you don't just win her body. You win her soul. Now that we understand why emotional connection is so critical, The next question is, how do you actually build it? The good news is, you don't need to be a mind reader or a poet. You just need to show up consistently with honesty, empathy, and heart. Here are powerful ways to create and deepen emotional connection with a woman. 1. Practice active listening. Active listening means giving her your full attention when she speaks. Not just hearing her words, but really absorbing them. Not preparing your answer while she's talking. Not interrupting. Not minimizing her feelings. Simple but powerful things you can do. Maintain eye contact. Nod, smile, and show nonverbal signs you're engaged. Reflect back what you hear. It sounds like you're really overwhelmed right now. The more she feels heard, the more she'll open up emotionally. 2. Ask deeper questions. Don't just stay on the surface. Instead of "How was your day?" try, "What was the best part of your day? What's been on your mind lately? Is there anything you wish you could talk about but feel like you can't?" Deeper questions invite her to share her true self. And when she does, listen without judgment, without trying to solve everything. The goal isn't to fix, it's to understand. 3. Be vulnerable yourself. Connection is a two-way street. If you want her to open her heart, you must be willing to open yours too. Share your own fears, dreams, doubts, and hopes. Let her see the man behind the mask. Being emotionally open as a man isn't weakness, it's strength. It shows trust. It shows authenticity. It builds intimacy. When you say something like, "I'm scared sometimes too," or "I don't always have it all figured out," you create a bond that's deeper than words. 4. Show empathy, not solutions. When she shares her problems, she's often looking for connection, not quick advice. Instead of immediately offering solutions, acknowledge her emotions. Validate her experience. Sit with her in the discomfort if needed. For example, instead of saying, "Just tell your boss off," you might say, "That sounds so frustrating. I'm sorry you're going through that." Empathy first. Solutions only if she asks. 5. Create rituals of connection. Small rituals create emotional safety over time. Examples: a goodnight text, no matter how busy you are. A weekly walk together to just talk. A simple thinking of you note left for her. Rituals don't have to be complicated, they just have to be consistent. Consistency builds trust. Trust builds emotional connection. And emotional connection builds lasting love. 6. Respect her emotional pace. Not every woman opens up quickly. Some have wounds. Some have fears. Some need time to feel safe enough to fully trust. Honor her pace. Be patient. Don't push for more than she's ready to give. Your steady presence, your refusal to rush or pressure, is what will make her feel safe enough to eventually open all the way. 7. Apologize when you hurt her feelings. No relationship is perfect. You will sometimes mess up. You will sometimes say or do things that unintentionally hurt her. When that happens, don't defend. Don't minimize. Don't turn it around on her. Simply apologize sincerely. "I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That was not my intention. Thank you for telling me. I want to do better." Owning your mistakes builds trust faster than any perfect behavior ever could. Final thought for this section. Building emotional connection isn't about doing big things once. It's about doing small things consistently. It's showing her, day after day, that you're a safe place for her heart. That she matters. That you see her, hear her, and love her, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Because in the end, the strongest relationships aren't built on grand declarations. They're built on 1,000 little moments where two hearts meet and say, "I'm here. I choose you." Again and again. Sometimes, emotional connection isn't lost because of big betrayals. It's chipped away slowly through small mistakes repeated over time. Let's talk about the common mistakes that silently destroy emotional connection and how you can avoid them. 1. Invalidating her feelings. When a woman shares her emotions, even if they seem exaggerated or illogical to you, dismissing them is a massive blow to emotional connection. Phrases like, "You're overreacting," "It's not a big deal," "Just calm down," can feel like emotional rejection. Instead, try validating her feelings. "I see why that upset you. It makes sense you'd feel that way." Validation builds a bridge. Dismissal builds a wall. 2. Getting defensive instead of listening. When she expresses hurt or frustration, it's easy to jump into defense mode. "I didn't mean it that way. You're too sensitive. You always find something wrong." But defensiveness kills emotional safety. It makes her feel like her feelings don't matter unless you agree with them. The better move? Pause. Listen. Breathe. Reflect. "I hear you. Let me think about what you're saying." Listening without rushing to defend yourself shows true emotional maturity. 3. Minimizing small moments of connection. Some people think connection happens only during big talks or special dates. But for women, it's often the small, everyday moments that matter most. A smile across the room, a check-in text during a busy day, remembering something she mentioned weeks ago. When you ignore or minimize these tiny opportunities for closeness, emotional distance grows without you even realizing it. Connection is built in the small moments. Don't underestimate them. 4. Avoiding vulnerable conversations. It's tempting to avoid emotional conversations because they feel uncomfortable. Many men were raised to believe vulnerability is weakness. But when you shut down hard conversations or avoid emotional depth, you send the message, "I can't meet you where you are emotionally." This makes her feel alone, even if you're physically present. Lean into vulnerability instead of running from it. Say things like, "I'm not sure what to say, but I'm here. I want to understand." Vulnerability invites connection. Walls invite distance. 5. Taking her emotional efforts for granted. If she reaches out emotionally, shares her feelings, checks on you, makes efforts to connect, and those efforts are ignored, over time she will stop trying. Relationships are a two-way emotional investment. When one side keeps giving and the other side stays passive, resentment quietly grows. Appreciate her efforts. Thank her. Meet her halfway emotionally. Never assume she'll always be there if you stop showing up. Final thought for this section. Emotional connection doesn't usually break from a single blow. It erodes from neglect, defensiveness, dismissal, and emotional avoidance. The good news? When you recognize these patterns early, you can change them. You can repair emotional wounds. You can rebuild trust stronger than before. Every relationship will face challenges. But couples who stay emotionally connected survive the storms and grow even closer through them. Stay present. Stay vulnerable. Stay kind. Because emotional connection isn't just what women want. It's what love itself demands. At the end of the day, emotional connection is not just something women want. It's something every heart needs. To be seen. To be heard. To be loved, not for perfection, but for authenticity. When you build emotional connection, you create something rare and beautiful. A love that feels safe, deep, and truly unbreakable. So be present. Be real. Be brave enough to connect. Because in the end, it's not grand gestures that win a woman's heart. It's the quiet, consistent moments where you choose her over and over again. If this video resonated with you, Sparkles, give it a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel. Sparkles, subscribe for more videos about emotional health, relationships, and building real love. Sparkles, and don't forget to share this video with someone who might need to hear this message today. Thank you for being here. Stay connected. Stay kind. See you in the next video. Yellow heart.